Come on up, brother. The House of Representatives is absolutely, totally dysfunctional. It is controlled by the special interests. And those special interests, my friends, don't know anything about us and our lives. They don't. They don't. As I said the other day, there are people in Washington, D.C. who are pulling the strings, who can go out and in one evening spend as much for a good meal with some fine wine as most of the people who live in this part of America may have to spend in an entire month to feed their families. And that's just the way it is. And you've heard of the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers, those two brothers, have over $56 billion. They've got money that could buy entire cities. And so here in this country now, we're facing a real dilemma. And that dilemma is, are we going to continue to have an America that we have experienced, or are we going to allow it to be overtaken and controlled by a handful of people who are super wealthy and super rich and who want to make the decisions for all the rest of us? Now, Steve Stivers, as Bruce has said, is one of them. Not in terms of his own personal wealth, perhaps, but in terms of what he's willing to do and what he's willing to support. And so if you want this country to be the kind of country where people can grow up, live in freedom, get a decent job, experience decent benefits, have some security in their lives, where everybody has an equal chance to succeed, then you're not going to want to support Steve Stivers or any other Republican. And there are some good Republicans out there, I guess. But the fact is, they are supporting the wrong side. And you've got a chance here now with this good man. I mean, he flies airplanes, and as Bruce says, if you trust a guy to fly you in an airplane, you ought to trust him to represent you in Congress. He's bright. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got common sense. He's got the right values. And he's got the kind of backbone that it's going to take to go up there and stand up to the special interests. I remember, my friends, when I first started running, I came to this region and I asked people just like you and some of you to help me, and you did. And nobody thought that I was going to win or had a chance to win. But we did win. And what we saw happen last week with Eric Cantor, his pollster told him he was 34 points ahead a week before the election, and he ended up losing by 12 points. That shows you what can happen when the people get involved. And this man can be elected to the Congress, and you can be proud to send him to Washington to serve this county and this community as well as many others that are in this district. And so I'm just here today to ask you, in the weeks and months to come, take every opportunity you have to talk about him, to talk about his qualities, to talk about what he wants to do, and work as hard as you can. If you do that, just as Eric Cantor lost, Steve Stivers will lose.